Hello and welcome. Today we have an investor presentation from Mr. Bill Reid, Head of Exploration from North Stawell Minerals. He's going to give us an update on the drilling program currently underway in the Stawell Gold Corridor. Over to you, Bill.
Peter. Hi there. This year, North Stawell Minerals began a drilling program in the North Stawell Gold Project, north of the Stawell Gold Mine, in a terrain with its own set of unique challenges because of the Murray Basin cover over the top of it. So the company's chosen two key areas to explore, and we started drilling on the first of those on the 9th of January this year. At this point, the first hole's up on the racks and the second hole's underway. I just thought I'd take the opportunity to go through some of the thinking and some of the geology and the opportunity in the North Stawell Gold Project. So one of the key things for Stawell, and this is, by the way, these images come straight out of the investor presentation on the ASX from the 25th of November. One of the key things at Stawell is because of the Murray Basin cover, which is the grey or the brownish material on screen now, the old timers, the prospectors, had no real way to explore through it. What this has done is preserved very shallow potential for Stawell-like mineralisation north of where the basin starts, which is only 6 kilometres north of the mine at Stawell. And it's no small target, so we do explore pretty much exclusively against a Stawell Gold Mines model. And that's important for a number of reasons. One is that the geology is slightly different to most of the rest of Victoria. We get large accumulations of basalt that the mineralisation wraps around, which is great for the geology because we know where we are in the system. And also we can see it see the basalts, not the gold, but we can see the mineralisation. We can see the basalts with geophysics. So we can target more effectively through the shallow cover than the old timers could. And that's a huge advantage for us for exploration. But what we've done is over the last few years, so since 2020, when the company spun out of Stawell Gold Mines, we've looked at a number of projects and done a lot of regional work and narrowed down our targeting. This is probably a good summary of where we're at here. So on the far right, that image there with the numbered image is where we believe or where we know that there's basalts undercover in the Stawell region, and the margins and the crest of each of those is potential for gold. Out of all of those, there's two that we've chosen that are high priority targets that we'll look at now. One is here, which is and the other one is down to the south, near only 6 kilometres from Stawell Gold Mine, and that's the Darlington project down here. Now, Wildwood has a resource on it. It's a small resource. It's 87,000 ounces at 2.4 grams per tonne gold. But to keep that in perspective, typical of the Stawell zone. So the most recent resource released by Stawell Gold Mines in November 2024 at a conference in Melbourne is about 1.1 million ounces at 2.3 or 2.6 grams per tonne. It's in that ballpark. I can actually check that. Sorry, just give me a sec. At 3.24 grams per tonne. I'm sorry. And one of our peer group explorers to the south has a 300,000 ounce resource at 2.45. So the Wildwood resource at 87,000 ounces at 2.4 is fairly representative of the style of mineralisation that's not just found, but also processed in the Stawell region. Of course, the North Stawell tenements lie immediately to the north of the Stawell Gold Mine. Here's the Stawell Gold Mine here, where the red dot is, and you can see the brown outline is our contiguous tenements for 60 kilometres to the north in that gold prospective corridor. So we've got very good ground. We can demonstrate that the same geological controls, the basalt, are in place. Because a lot of these things are mineralised, and we've literally chosen the two that are the most, or we feel are the most likely to give us good results as the two to focus on, which makes a lot of sense. So there's the resource there. This is the deposit plunging to the north at this end and to the south at that end. Sorry, it's sort of back to front. but we have upgraded that in the last 18 months, released in June or late June 2023 is the last resource update. And as I said before, it now stands at 87,000 ounces at 2.4. So what we've done is this is Stawell in the north, sort of filleted with the west flank and the east flank displayed there, and at the same scale as the Wildwood Dome beneath it. The scale's comparable, but what's quite different is the maturity of the project. Obviously, Stawell has 150 years of mining on it, and Wildwood has only really been effectively explored to about 150 meters. And that means we've got quite shallow targets that we can still exploit. So when we look at Wildwood, we've chosen this area in here. I might see if I've got a picture of that. We've chosen this area in here because for two reasons. One, it's shallow. We interpret that to be down plunge of the existing mineralization part of the resource. And there's one extra really important criteria that is worth recognizing is these intercepts through here are some of the only examples where the mineralization sits directly on the flank of the basalt at Wildwood. That's important because most of the mineralization, so this area up here, for example, where my mouse is now, most of the mineralization is in restricted embayments. So they're small volumes of ore. And what would be a real positive for the Wildwood project is to get onto flanking mineralization where there's potential for a lot more volume ore and then to expand on that. And this area here is a key target for us with that respect. So not only is it shallow, it's on the flank of the basalt, so it has extra prospectivity. And just because of the interpreted plunge, it is open for at least 600 meters to the south, and even beyond that, should it prove successful. So those are quite exciting targets for us, and that's where the drill rig is presently. Later on, we've got a less very keen to drill. This is the Darlington target, and it's just, as I said before, 6 kilometres north of the Stawell gold mine, about 2 kilometres onto the North Stawell ground. So what happened here was the historic exploration that we've done has identified that there's a subvertical interpreted south plunging mineralization chute. And the last hole that we drilled in our last program in 2023 intersected a large, previously undocumented and unknown basalt at about 300 meters depth, or 300 meters down hole, sorry. Intercepting that basalt changes the dynamics of the target from a near surface and historic mine target to something that has all the components in place where it may actually be a repeat of the type of geology that controls Stawell. And that comes with a large upgrade in metal potential. So what we've done down here is we're quite confident of the geometry of the near surface mineralization, helped by some historic mining from the 1850s. We have the intercept at depth, and we've projected that target zone where the splay of mineralization above the basalt intercepts the basalt, and that's where it would jump from a typical Victorian gold style mineralization to more of a Stawell type gold system. So if that target area proves successful, there's a very strong analogy to Stawell, which actually can be demonstrated to sit to the south. We'll come back to that in a second. But and that would massively increase or significantly increase, sorry, the prospectivity of the Darlington project. So we're very interested to drill those holes and see what they return. So this graphic here is looking to the north and down a bit. You can see Stawell to the south here. There's a series of faults in blue, and it's not hard to trace drilling interest on the Stawell gold mines ground to the south of us. and then the green is the basalt. And where it crosses the boundary, there's the North Stawell boundary there. We end up in the Darlington and Caledonia prospects. So the interpretation is that there's a semi-continuous band of these controlling basalts that run from south to north with mineralization known along it, which then comes onto the Darlington or onto the North Stawell ground, and the first major target is Darlington. So it's a very exciting target, new data that amplifies the potential. So for those programs, there's five to six drill holes with about 1,500 meters of drilling. Again, we have shallow targets because of the history of exploration and old timers in the area. So we don't have to drill to great depths targets. So the drilling's underway. We're onto our second hole now. The first hole's on the tables as we speak. And we look forward to reporting the details of that drilling to us from the labs. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Good report, and we look forward to hearing the news as you progress the program over coming weeks. Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.